By the way, I think I should tell all of you, this chart is 400 feet long. And when I say we'll change scenery, we're changing the chart and putting up a new piece of the chart. Rest at ease now, and I'm gone. Here is the 11th chapter, and there is John. There's the angel talking to him, and the angel says, John, take this reed, measuring line, God's rule. Take this rule stick and measure the restored temple. I put the word restored in there. And John took the rule and measured the restored temple at Jerusalem that'll be rebuilt. That's Ezekiel chapter 40. You can read about it. Rebuilt temple. Somebody said the building is already there where the first temple was. Well, maybe you never did read about the great earthquake and the great shaking of the earth that's going to take place. Ready? A reed means God's law, God's order, God's way of doing things. So he takes the reed, John, and measures the temple. Anything that God measures, he protects. He owns. It is his. And that's all that means. That's a stick like we have a measuring stick. Piece of cane is the way they did it then. Cane stalk. And measure the temple. And the spiritual meaning is God owns it, God protects it, and God will protect those Jews physically that are going inside to worship. And that's all that it means. You don't need to know any more. There is Moses and there is Elijah, the two prophets. I'm on verse 3. And the reason I said it's Moses and Elijah, one of them, or both of them really, connectively, both of them. But I'll put it, Moses can turn water into blood. That's Exodus 8 and verse 20. And Elijah can make heaven dry up and no rain come down for 3 years and a half. And you're looking at verse 6. Look there at verse 6, right here, you. You look at verse 6. Yeah. During the days of T-H-E-I-R, their prophecy. Now I want to help you out. Watch out, you'll get trapped. This is not Moses and Elijah back in the Old Testament turning water to blood and making it rain not for 3 years and a half. They did that. But this is in their prophecy. This is in the 42 months. Look at verse 3. They're going to prophesy and preach and work miracles. 42 months, 3 years and a half. Last half of the tribulation period. And during the days of T-H-E-I-R, their prophecy yet to come in the tribulation period, 42 months, verse 3, it will rain not, and the waters will be turned to blood. I don't know if all the waters will, but Moses and Elijah. I don't see why anybody else would want to hunt. One fellow said to me lately when I said that, he said, the idea of Moses having to die twice. And I said, you give me the reference and I'll preach on it. Anywhere in the Bible does it say that a man can't die or a woman can't die twice? And that was it. God can do anything he wants to do. He can break all the laws of nature. He can do anything. He can change anything. He is God. He is sovereign. He worketh everything after his own will. And usually he didn't ask us anything about it. God is God. Oh, the sovereign God. Let me say it, a sovereign God that works everything after the counsel of his own will. Who hath known the mind of the Lord? Who hath been his counselor? When did he ever come to us and ask us to help him out on a plan? Ready? Moses and Elijah making heaven stop raining for 3 years and a half. Of the tribulation period, it won't rain a drop for 3 years and a half. And Elijah turning water to blood. No, I've got it wrong. And Moses turning water to blood, and Elijah making the heavens dry up for 3 years and a half, the last half of the tribulation period. Moses and Elijah. And if you think that's not right, and there's something wrong about it. The idea of somebody said, of Moses and Elijah ever coming back. They've been here one time, they're not coming back. Say, they've already been back. I say they have already been back. Moses had been dead around 1,500 years or more, and he came back to the top of the mountain and talked to Jesus about his death, that he was going to accomplish in Jerusalem. That's Mark chapter 9. And Elijah, that was transported to heaven in God's chariot, swaying low, sweet chariot, he came back, and he had been translated hundreds of years, around 700 to 800, and he came back and talked to Jesus about his decease at Jerusalem. So God can do anything that he wants to do, and they will be back. In fact, the book of Malachi says that Elijah is coming back, that's the 4th chapter, before the great and terrible day of the Lord, that Elijah is coming back. Ready? Now we have the devil up here, and we have the woman Israel. We'll take up right there tomorrow night, and we will teach the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast. The mark of the beast. Tomorrow night. The mark of Antichrist. 666. The mark of the beast. Good night.